Hi guys, welcome fellow Simmers and Sims 4 fans. This is a street in Evergreen Harbor in the Quarry neighborhood. Now, there's something so dope about Evergreen Harbor. It kind of has this sort of like down the earth kind of vibes, and I appreciate that because everything is so simple. It's so relatable in terms of the houses that I've seen. And I like that things are a little grungy and a little average. That may be funny to say, but yeah, I come back here often and I just like the aesthetics so much that I even wanted more houses in this particular world. And so, ta da! I made this huge apartment complex. So, I'm going to share with you guys a build tour today of this apartment complex. So, this is a part of my Memory Lane series in which I take you down memory lane literally, sharing an old build of mine and sharing the intent behind it, what it looks like on the inside, and what I think about it today. And I'm going to share with you guys why I think you guys will like a build like this as well. So let's get into it. The lot that you're about to see, I'm going to go in build mode really quick. This lot is called Stone Street Complex. Again, it's in the Quarry neighborhood, but it's on a 30 by 20, so you can fit this on any 30 by 20 because it looks pretty average and like, very generic American residential, which is cool if you like that sort of aesthetic. I do, that's why I made it. But yeah, this is called Stone Street Complex. It is literally another 30 by 20, and it's on my gallery. So here's my gallery ID, MarshaTac12, and I build for gameplay and storytelling in mind, and I have everything including residentials, residential rentals, penthouses, mansions, rec centers, a bunch of other public lots. So if you are interested and want to take a browse, please feel free. Now, the build that we have today, it came to my mind because I did another Evergreen Harbor tour of mine from my playlist of my Memory Lane series, and you guys talked about Evergreen Harbor a lot, about how much you also like the world, and I'm like, I have more builds, I can show you more. So I will be happy to show you this build. So this build comes with 3 units. And this is good for players because if you don't know, there's a 6 unit cap for a lot of builds. And a lot of simmers, if you're like me and you do rotational gameplay, you want to make use of that 6 unit cap and that 99 limit cap, because you can only have 99 in a save file. So I think of that, so I don't make these units too large. I give you just enough to have good gameplay. So I'm gonna take this all this stuff off the screen so we could get into a good tour. So like I said, the lot consists of 3 units, and we also get this additional outdoor space plus a shared community amenities building. So there's a lot to take in here, and this is quite beautiful, but I think that we should share more about this and this special building last. So let's take a look at the first unit on the first floor. So let me go down. And like I said, Evergreen Harbor is kind of known for being very basic, average, and to a lot of people that means realistic. And the cool thing about Evergreen Harbor is that it has this ability to have all this junk around. So if you want to grungy it up, you can, because it's so easy to do that with these realistic looking builds. So here's our first unit. It's kind of framed by the mailboxes and the garbage cans. And also, if you didn't know, the mailboxes, they're a thing that came with for rent, where there's extra gameplay. If you actually, click on it, you can, browse in there and find coupons and whatnot. So it's pretty cool. Now, out of these units, 3 units, I took the time to make them very different. I made them realistic in them having the same layout, but of course, each one has been renovated through different times and different people live here. So, of course, they're going to have their own different aesthetics. So, we've just entered the first unit. This is the entryway. This is what all the entryways look like in all of the units. Now, the furniture layouts will be different because, I imagine different people live here. Now, this unit in particular is very special because I imagine this being the move-in ready unit. So technically there would be no furnishings in here, but I took the liberty of putting some in here just for the player, just so you guys can get a feel of how you can furnish this place if you're not the furnishing type of player. You just don't, you're not into that, or you have no idea how to. You can use this setup for inspiration, or you could just take it all down and do whatever you like. But yeah, as you come through the house, you have basically you're into the living room, or you're slightly cut off away from it. You have the living room right there, and then you have an additional space, the kitchen. So all the layouts have this style of kitchen, in which it's practically just a little nook in a hallway. And I had to make sure I'm still recording because you never know. So yeah, you have this basic nook here, and again, this is sort of like the move-in ready unit, so it's very blank. You can repaint this if you want. It's Evergreen Harbor, so there's a lot of urging to do DIY gameplay here and to really get into crafting and being resourceful and making your own. So get into like upgrading the place and decorating it more, and yeah, repainting, designing, doing your thing. Anyway, so that's our little kitchenette. And like I said, this is the default living space, but you can do whatever you want to here. What all the units come with is these beautiful, like, large windows. I really like this. Now, you hardly get a view. You get a view of the staircase, but that's sort of realistic in a lot of homes as well. But it's still a cool space nonetheless. And I can picture someone moving into here. Maybe they're like just out of college, or a single mom, just maybe you just had your baby and this is your very first place. I can picture a little playmat here now. I think that would be cool. And then the little dining space got the cool little chandelier. It's a dining space in an apartment when there's a long chandelier that drops down. I really like that attention to detail. And then your little dining area also gets this cool little window nook over here. So very nice. Now all of these little dining spaces, they get access to a sliding door that leads you to a private balcony. So here you are. So you can put whatever you want to out here. We now have a spin bike that will go well out here. If you want to do yoga out here, you can. You want to put some patio furniture, you can do that as well. And then there's a little wall over here just in case you wanted that vertical planter, because it does come with eco lifestyle. So you got a lot of variety here. And as far as the bathroom goes, if your guests come over and they're visiting you and they're in the living room, they have access to a bathroom right here. So they don't have to go through your bedroom. So here we are. This is a standard bathroom, and all the units have this sort of setup. And this door leads to the other side, which is the bedroom, which I will take you through in a second. But yeah, just wanted to give you an overview. So yeah, this is the setup. Oh, my furniture went away in tab mode. But yeah, lovely, lovely, lovely. And I love that we got pillows in the game. I feel like those have been such a game changer. I can't wait to get different size ones. So far, they've been the same size. I want to say they even use these. They probably use like or like, did they use the same thing here? I don't know. But it looks believable. I love that we have those. I can't wait to get more. This is the hallway, and you can kind of dress this hallway up however you see fit. I put this little wall shelf unit here that came with Eco Lifestyle. I really like this. I think it's very Very appealing to the eye. But you can put anything you want here. This could be a good spot for an entryway table too, and a mirror. Very nice. Now back here is where we have the bedrooms. Now this is the Evergreen Harbor world. And just with any for rent residential rental, I like to make sure that there's at least 3 bedrooms. So I'm going to show you those 3 bedrooms. And yeah, we're going to get into it. So here's the first bedroom. Now, as you can see, because this is the move-in ready unit, this is not cluttered much at all. So I've got my fill of furniture here, and this is basically the good view of the place. So what I imagine to be the parents' bedroom who lives here, if you have children. Of course, you could be single and be in this apartment as well. But yeah, this is it. So this would be a good wall to put your bed, and this would be where you put your nightstands, and that's a good spot for a dresser. So that's what I did. And yeah, you have all this ample space to do with whatever you please. And you can put whatever curtains you want on the wall as well. Now, of course, you get access to the bathroom here. So it's kind of like having an ensuite. I've seen this before in real life setups. To me, it's not ideal because I'm like, I wouldn't want any guests going through my bedroom. Having access to my bedroom. But it's The Sims, and this is convenient. So in the morning, you gotta go really bad, you just scoot on over here. But yeah. That's our, primary room. Now, the next room is over here. And like I said, this is the move-in ready unit. So, everything's blank in here. But at least you get a gist of how it's set up. And then we're going to go over to the next bedroom. Ooh la la. And voila, another setup. And they still get windows. So, I like that. I love how realistic this looks because I love the pairing of the carpet with the wallpaper. And of course, there's the shared bathroom right here. So, yeah, if you have kids, this is good because they'll have a tub that they can be washed in. Very convenient. And even if you have a pet, you can wash their pet in the tub. Nice. So that's the first unit, everybody. Our move-in ready unit. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think about this unit? And does it look like a good, first time place or fixer-upper to you? All right, so let's go on to the next unit. I'm going to go ahead and go upstairs. And here we are upstairs. I'm kind of high. I don't know why my camera always gets me so high. All right, so here we are on the second level. We're going to visit the second unit. Now, this unit I designed, it is lived in already. So, let's see what kind of, family vibe is in here. And ta-da! You have nothing on the wall, but that's a perfect spot to put something on the wall. I think I was doing sort of like a bare bones attempt with this unit. With all of these units, I think my aim was to make them feel lived in, but yet not too cluttered, so that you guys can see and picture yourselves in the unit. So here's the entryway, just like before, and then it opens up into the living room, and this is the actual entryway console table. And you know what? I feel like there should be a photo there. I'm surprised I didn't put one. But yeah, like I said, you could put one there if you want to. So anyway, let's get into it. First off, the kitchen. I don't want to forget about the kitchen. Look at my door's missing. Just like the downstairs unit, the kitchen is the exact same layout. But as you can see, the cabinetry is different because, of course, it's a different unit, so it would have been renovated or updated at a different time, or even older than the ones downstairs. So I wanted to reflect that realism in this unit. And as you can see, there are some shelving put there, because if you like canning, or maybe you just like storing things on shelves, this is good for that. So I love that. And this is Eco Lifestyle. So as you can see, I put the cheap appliances here. So Eco Lifestyle, that pack is all about upgrading and getting better and being resourceful. So if you want to buy fancier stuff, you can. But I like the idea of either dumpster diving for something new, or using your skill to like make something even better. So yeah, that's how I like to play with Eco Lifestyle. But yeah, this is nice. We can still have nice cozy stuff in the world of Evergreen Harbor. And then over here is the living room. Now this is the same layout as the other unit, exact same. I just chose different furnishing to reflect that a different family lives here. So here I went with a much warmer vibe. It's much more warm and cozy in here, which is pretty cool because, sometimes you don't want something that looks freshly painted. You want something that feels like it's aged, and you may have a household that you already have a storyline for, and they're already settled and established. So this is a good unit for that. And again, I use those pillows. You could tell what time of the year it was, because we got pillows, and I just went insane with putting pillows everywhere. But yeah, I love this couch setup. It looks good. And then of course, just like downstairs, they have a little dining area, and of course with the windows, and we furnished it up in here. And they have access to a balcony as well. On their balcony, they decided to actually put some chairs so they can have a view of this quarry. It's not, what's so crazy? That's not much of a view at all, but hey, it's realistic, and these residents are doing what they can to just have a nice breeze. Alrighty, so that is the main living room and dining space of this area. Now, like I said, bathrooms are the same. The paint job just reflects this unit. It has more of a warmer tone. But yeah, that is it. I like this a lot. And like I said, with the hallway, you can, be versatile and dress it up or down if you want to. But yeah, it's very nice. So let's check out the bedrooms now. So now we're going to get into the primary of this unit. So here, let's go through here. And as you can see, this is already more furnished than the other one. You already got a little chair in the corner over here, perfect for a little reading nook with a bookcase. And this is the bedroom set for this unit. So it looks nice, very nice at that. Got nice frames up there, nice what do you call them, nightstands. Very good. And then the matching dresser set. So yeah, I'm gonna say all of this is cats and dogs, I think. Or is that Jungle Adventure? Jungle Adventure mixed with cats and dogs, I think. It looks good. It looks really good. So I'm glad how that came out. And we got a picture frame right here, thanks to Growing Together. And just like before, this has access to the shared bathroom. So very nice. So let's go over here. Now we have rooms that are actually, furnished. So you can see who kind of lives here. So this looks to be a room that I made for a teenager that would be here, probably getting ready, getting prepped to go to college. So everything's about applications and, scores. Who knows? But yeah, we've got a nice little room set up for teenagers, ready and good to go. So I really like that. It's a nice size room. It's kind of spacious for them. Now let's move on to the next one. Over here in this room, we have a nice little room set up for a little kid. So very nice. And apparently this is a room for a kid that loves void critters. So even better, because I like this little battle station and the effects that come on there. So what's cool about this, if your kid meets another kid, they can come over and come play. So I love that. And then, of course, we got their dressers. Thanks to Parenthood, they got somewhere they can play with toys. And they have a little section over here where they can read their book. There's the bookcase on the wall, and they can sit there and read. So, very nice. Nice kids' room. I like that. And just like with the lower unit, there's the shared restroom that the teenager and the child sim can share. Alrighty, and that is this unit. It's very warm toned and cozy and lived in. So I really like that. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think of unit number 2 with all the warm tones. Alright, now let's go up to unit number 3. Ooh, why my camera so crazy? Ooh. I don't know why my camera jumped like that. That was a little weird. Alright, so now we're up on the 3rd floor. And we might get some camera jumps, y'all, but I can't help that. Alright, so now that we're in here, you see that we are literally in the 3rd unit. So our entryway is this little table right here. So let's get a little view of what's going on. So there's our front door, and it leads to this little table right here where we have our living room set up, and things just like disappearing. It just doesn't want to stay on camera. So yeah, so we had kind of like this little access point here and on the wall for a little bit of an entryway. And of course we got our kitchen. So our kitchen is, you know, like I said, same layout for all 3 units. This one again most likely was renovated at a different time, which is why this one probably has the best cabinetry up here. So this one has a white kitchenette and has better like drawer handles. What do you call them? Pull handles. They look nice. Anyway, I did stick with the old refrigerator and stove because again, it's still eco lifestyle. So even if this apartment is a little bit fancier than the others, you know, I still didn't want you to feel limited and like you couldn't do anything with this house. Because again, I want you to still think of eco lifestyle gameplay and being resourceful and all of that. So yeah, we still stuck with those. You still have shelves here because if you want to do some juice fizzing, you know, you have that ability if you go to the community spaces to do that. And you also have the ability to have houseplants now if you have Enchanted by Nature. So that might be a cool spot to put them. But yeah, that's our little kitchenette. Very nice. And again, you still got plenty of counter space for an appliance. So whichever one you want. So let's get into the actual living room. Why did my camera get so high? I don't know. Alright, so I'm zooming around, not on purpose, but that's just what happens when you're on the upper floor. So this is our living room area, and as you can see, it's totally different than the one that's downstairs. So we got, you know, our living room set up being these 2 love seats facing away from each other, and it's kind of balanced by this little ottoman. And I think it looks quite peaceful. Now this whole unit has darker wallpaper and darker furniture, so it's a little bit more moody in here than the other units, but that's okay because sometimes we have sims that prefer more moodier vibes. So yeah, I like this about this particular unit. We placed the TV on a different wall this time, got different curtains up. It's very nice, so that gave us this nice little area to put family photos. And the same over here. So here's our dining space. As you can see, we got a different light fixture here, different table set. It still looks good. And in this unit, we even got like a little desk set up with a computer, which is very handy. So again, I think that whoever lives here probably has, you know, a bit more of a tech taste or modern taste. So they might be a writer or a programmer. We don't know. But, you know, You can turn these apartment units into anything that you want. The good thing about this is that I've customized this to where you pretty much can empty it out very quickly. It's not overly cluttered. So if you wanted to customize this, or if you're big into CC and you want to put your own stuff, you can have at it. Oh, and of course they have their balcony as well. They already got some patio furniture out here, so that's pretty good. If you want to put a grill out here, you could, because there's plenty of space for a grill. So I like that. And of course, access to the bathroom. We've just got the same layout. We darkened the wallpaper to match the rest of the apartment. And yeah, so that's how it's looking so far. Very nice. I think this is my favorite in the building. All right, so let's talk about the bedrooms. So if we go this way, this is our main bedroom. So as you can see, this is a different layout. We put the bed against the window this time. And I've seen this before in real life with real bedrooms. I've seen beds up against the window. So that's one thing. We've got somewhere to put family photos. And this room is special because this parent also has a TV. Now, what's cool in The Sims 4 is that we did get the ability to watch TV while on a bed. It's something that I haven't done a lot often, but it is possible. And you know, if you forgot that you can do this, sometimes it's nice to do, especially when your Sims alone at night and they want to get their fun up. They could just sit and watch TV while in their bed. So I think that's nice. And we kind of made like this custom dresser unit by putting two of the tiny living dressers together. And this cute. If you're wondering where that box came from, that is all Dream Home Decorator. And yeah, I even added a little mirror. So versatility. And let's go into the next bedroom. So this one's set up for a toddler. You know, this is a cute little bedroom. It's very cute. So this toddler is able to come in here and just have a ball. They also have their own TV. So not only can you come in here, you can read to the toddler, because if you didn't know, the toddler can, you know, fall asleep in their bed, and your grown adult sim, they could sit on the edge of the bed if they want to. They can also sit right there in the chair and read to the toddler. So I love that. Toddler can play with blocks. I even put a chart in here. This is a cool looking chart. I believe that one's from the, what's the little animal pack with the little mice? My First Pet stuff, I believe it's called. So I thought that was cute for a toddler room, so I added it. And he has toys over here. I didn't put a traditional toy box. I didn't really see the point of doing that because I kind of wanted the toys to be out on display. So I didn't put one because, you know, if you put one in here, they will automatically put them away. Because some kids, you don't have to tell them to clean up and they just do it on their own. But not putting a toy box means I would be able to, you know, continue to see these things. Now, these toys that he has over here, I just blew them up. So, if you're wondering, like, oh, I've never seen that before, are those new? No, they're not new. They're just regular toys that are in the game that just got blown up. So, like that. And, of course, this little doggy stuffy from Cats and Dogs. So, this is a nice toddler room. Let's go on over to the next one. And, boop. Here we are. Here's a little room with kind of a similar setup. We have those cubicles from high school years again, and we put toys in here for the child sim. So this one is for a child sim, and yeah, they'll be able to have some fun in here too. So they can play with their toys. They've got bubbles. They've got a superhero action figure, their own little stuffed animal, plus this TV for them to watch, the Kids Show Network. And also they can play a video game with this nice little purple console from the City Living Pack. So this is cute. I actually really dig this room. Yeah, I think this is my favorite room in this build. So comment down below which room you like the most out of each unit. Yeah, this is very nice. And then, of course, their child sim, they need somewhere to work on their homework. So I did provide a little table here. This looks so believable. And they can play with this bear. I almost forget about this thing, because they could play with a teddy bear or a baby doll, and it's the little play doctor set, so that's really cute. And she gets her own little chart over here as well, so definitely like that. I like that. Oh yeah, and that piece, I forgot what that came with. Did that come with Parenthood or Seasons maybe? It's like this DIY papercraft item. Um, so it's a clutter item that's just solely for decor, but I thought it would be cute to put up there. And guys, now we have Adventure Awaits. You can actually make paper mache items and set them as decor. So that would be cool, if you want to play in here, to go ahead and set that up. But yeah, I like that. I love these two rooms actually. These are really good. So yeah, that is the layout of the units. That's all of our units. And this is the bathroom. Okay, can't forget the bathroom. It's basically the same layout just like before. Darker wallpaper, and I just included clutter in here because, these are for younger children in the units. So I kind of reflect that kids stay in this unit. But yeah, that is so nice. So nice. I love it. Yeah, I think I like this apartment, appeals to me the most. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think, and I want to know which one appeals to you the most. All right, so that is it for actually looking at the units. Let's talk about what's downstairs. So as an overview, we kind of skipped over all of this, but now we can really take it all in. So down on the ground level, we have quite a few things. So I wanted somewhere you can have a shared space that was outdoor and indoor. So back when I made this build years ago, I want to say I saw a lot of save files at the time for Evergreen Harbor in particular, in which they had a lot of apartment builds, and some of them included little parks that were included with the apartment. And this is sort of like my take on that, my spin on that idea. So to be family friendly, I added the little toddler slide and the swings from the Seasons pack. And yeah, that is what made up this little park. And the other thing that I had in mind that I thought would be both child and toddler friendly would be to add a little sandbox. So that's what I did. And the whole family can play in there because then mom and dad can join and have a good time. And then I chose to have this little sales table here because this is the eco lifestyle world of Evergreen Harbor. It makes sense that maybe your Sim's into candle making or, selling upgrade pieces. I don't know. But you have that. Or if you want to sell baked goods, you can. But yeah, that is just an option. And besides the kids coming out here enjoying themselves, there are things for the adults. Oh yeah, there's the water balloon bucket. I forgot about this, but that's for the whole family to have some fun together. But for adults, they have this little chest here. They can play a game of chess while they watch their kids. Or they can, partake in the little gardening beds out here and grow some things. And there's also like some seating over here to, grill. You could throw a birthday party out here if you want to. You can throw the neighborhood potluck out here if you want to. It's up to your choice about what you want to do. And of course, there's this shared space here. So this is sort of like an amenities building. So let me go down. Okay, all right, we're on the bottom level. Because I want to give you a tour of this little shared amenities building. Because, it's a small little apartment complex. But, they're going to have some sort of amenities. So this is like the little staff area. I imagine the assistant to the property manager. That's just what we could do for pretend. But if you want your actual property manager to sit here, if you're playing as them, that's cool. That's a good space to be. And then I wanted somewhere for not only your adult Sims can go to, but also your child Sims can come to and, just be outside of their unit and have a good time. So In this little amenities room, there's free Wi-Fi because a lot of apartment buildings have that. So this will be good for the adults or teenagers to have to do whatever they need to do if they just don't have a computer in their unit. The other thing is maybe the kids want to partake in some arts and crafts. They're able to do that here. And then I even put the little chemistry set because, well, really, this choice was one of those why not sort of choices. So, um, yeah, amenities. Anyway, I want it to be infant friendly as well because I'm not sure who who you're gonna play with and if they're gonna have a baby. So, I just wanted to include that. And this is a kind of like a little Lego table. The family has to build on it first before any toddlers can touch it, but it is such a cute family bonding activity. So I really like this thing, and I put in a lot of family builds either on community lots or residential. This is nice. And of course, a dollhouse. This is the one that came with Eco Lifestyle, and I love how it looks like a cardboard. So that's pretty cool. And besides this little amenity room, there's of course a bathroom because if you're going to be outside and you're away from your unit and or maybe you're working on the computer, it makes sense that you need somewhere to go tinkle. So you need somewhere to relieve yourself. And of course, this had to be family friendly, so I included a toddler potty. And I did not put a mirror here because I know how Sims 4 NPCs are, and we don't want them hogging up the restroom because they're talking in the mirror. But anyway, there's this little threshold that goes downstairs, and I wanted to make a downstairs area because this being an apartment unit and all, just like with the other apartment units, for rent has certain objects that add more gameplay. Now, currently, I'm giving you guys a tour of a lot that is a residential lot. So I don't have the for rent gameplay items in this particular build. This build is just chosen because it's easy to tour here. If you're interested in the for rent residential rental lot where it actually has the water heater and the breaker box, you get extra gameplay with that. So I have these two designated rooms for those items. So room number 1 and room number 2. So if you go through here, all this stuff with the pipes and this is just my signal to you guys as a player that if you're looking at this and you've downloaded this residential version, this will be where you put the water heater. If you already downloaded the other one, the lot that is already residential rental, all the units will already be separated already, and the water heater in the fuse box will already be down here, so you don't have to worry about this. But some people don't have that pack. But anyway, this is versatile. Like I said, it's versatile. You do what you want here. Like I said, this will be somewhere to put the fuse box, so you could swap this stuff out and put the fuse box in here. But for now, this is a good area to come to just have somewhere to do like some crafting. Because again, this is the Eco Lifestyle pack and it's all about being resourceful. So if you want to add more crafting objects down here, you can. I've got the recycler here because these are one of those items that are kind of just essential when you're playing with Eco Lifestyle. So it's all about bits and pieces and being able to reuse those bits and pieces for different sorts of things. So whether you are candle making or you're into fabrication, if you're going to use a community space, it's good to have a recycler on your home lot anyway, because you never know what you've dumpster dived or what objects you've just got that you just don't need anymore and you could recycle it. This is just handy. And I like to add a little woodworking table just so you can build your handiness up, plus all the things that you make on this table, they're wood items, so you could sell them if you want to, but if you're not even into the wood stuff, they're just objects that you don't need that go well in the recycler, and you can get bits and pieces for them while building your stuff up. Now, if you're smart, what you would do is you'd make some pieces and you'd set your neighborhood There's these things called NAPs where you can vote for what's going on in the community. You can get paid to recycle if you vote for that plan of action. So if you vote for that, you can sit here and make, because it costs you to make these things. You can sit here and make these and get paid double or triple for what you just did, for what you just recycled. So yeah, like I said, y'all better get into eco lifestyle. It's a good pack. But anyway, that is it. That is it for our tour. So let me go ahead and give the rundown again. So this is the overview. We got to see our little amenities building and, you know, the extra space inside. We got to see our first unit, which is move-in ready, good for any storyline you've got going on. And then for those of you who just want a place that's already furnished, this is good and it's easily customizable. If you want to go with a light, more warm tone, you can. If you want to go with more of a cool tone, on the upper floor we have more of a moody apartment for someone more into a more modern look. So this is nice as well. So it's already set up for you. A nice little simple suburban apartment complex. So yeah, that is it, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this apartment complex. If you're feeling the vibes here, can you picture a storyline here yourself or one of your families? And yeah, like I said, if you are interested in this build, this is a 30 by 20 lot. It is called the Stone Street Complex, and just like with many of my other builds, you can find it under my gallery ID, MarshaTac12. So there you have it, guys. So, like I said, I want to know your thoughts down in the comments. And for those of you who are interested in more content like this, this is a part of my memory lane series. So if you would like to see more videos like this, check out my playlist of my memory lane series, in which I have plenty of other builds that you guys can watch. So anyway, thanks for watching and can't wait to see you guys next time. So have a good day and bye.